Are you ready to shit your brains out? Because that's what you'll be looking like trying to learn this. At the end of the video, you'll be able to do the thing that Azula did from Avatar. You can even add the little else it if you want. On a serious note though, the 90-degree hold is one of the first skills that I learned and was also one of the most crucial gateways into the calisthenics that I was interested in, like the handstand push-up, the 90-degree push-up, planche, all the cool stuff. What you can expect to gain from this, and I'm just talking about the road towards it, are bulletproof shoulders, rock solid scapular control, a tighter core, and stronger wrists. Oh, and as a bonus, it's the first step towards a 90-degree push-up. I mean, who doesn't want to be able to do that? And no, it's not the same as a goddamn elbow lever. Get that shit out. Most importantly, anyone can start learning the 90-degree hold. The starting point is just different. If you need more base work before you can get into like the specific exercise for 90-degree hold, don't worry, don't feel intimidated. This video is all inclusive. We'll go over that as well. Quick disclaimer, by the way, all advice can be used both on parallettes and on the ground. I'll mainly be filming on the parallettes because it looks better on video and the floor is wet and cold. But don't feel discouraged if you don't have it. The people with will have an easier time to learn the skill, but if you can do it on the ground, you can also do it on these. So basically you're better. Okay, starting with a bit of foreplay. The mechanics behind the 90-degree hold. Basically, your hands are your only contact point, and if you stay straight like a stick and lean forward enough, your feet will eventually come off the ground, and boom, you're balanced. Muscle engagement-wise, it's a masterpiece in my opinion. So many things need to come together. You got the obvious ones like the chest, shoulder, triceps, but also so many stabilizers, plus a new level of mind-muscle connection that you need. That's also why no one can really do it first try, no matter the fitness level that they have. By the way, before we jump into the exercises, make sure to subscribe and comment, because I will be giving away all the revenue that this video makes. So if you ever wanted 5 cents added to your bank account, today is your lucky day. Now for the exercises, I like to present skill learning as a roadmap with different phases. Where we're going, why each phase matters, and how not to destroy your shoulders on day one. First stop on the roadmap is earning the right to lean forward. We start with the boring but necessary basics. Starting with full range push-ups, they build your pressing floor. Add bottom holds to teach your body to stay calm in a bent arm position, and also mix in some scapular push-ups to train that protraction endurance so that your body won't collapse on you in the 90-degree hold. Then we got pike push-ups. Start on the ground, but the higher your feet, the more your shoulders take over, helping you develop the shoulder flexion strength, which you will very much need. And then lastly, your wrists might give you a hard time through this whole journey, so a good practice is to always warm them up, give them a couple of minutes of moving in all directions at the beginning of each workout, raising the ceiling of how much bullshit your joints can tolerate each day. We open from here because without this base pressing level, you will nuke your shoulders on day one, and we don't want that, of course. Now, how do you know you're ready to move on to phase 2? I'd say once these exercises start feeling boring. Like, I could do these exercises as a warm-up kind of boring. I'm not saying you should do them as a warm-up, but it's kind of like a green light of, okay, I can move on. Then we march onwards to phase 2, and this is where your shoulder strength really takes off. The whole point of pseudos is to shift the weight from your legs to your upper body until your hands sit roughly under your center of mass. And when you get to that level, your feet will start to flirt a bit with the floor automatically. Now, of course, we do this gradually. We start with our hands under the shoulders and then step by step, walk them towards the hip. And I mean like baby steps, millimeters, not miles. And then slowly but surely, we make our way down. Now, there's 2 rules to keep you safe and strong in this pseudo position. Rule number 1, protraction of the shoulder blades. It locks your shoulder blade forward, creates space in the joint, and prevents any pinching in the front of the shoulder. It's a form of stability. And then the second rule is the depression of the shoulder blades, meaning shoulders down and away from your ears. And this protraction and depression is the power combo that you need for the 90-degree hold. You also want your body to be tense at all times. That means core tight and squeezing those juicy butt cheeks of yours to keep a steady pelvis. The 3 most important pseudo versions are, number 1, the pseudo hold. You want to lean as far as you can whilst keeping it clean, and then you want to freeze. If you can hold this for like 15 seconds-ish, it's time to move your hands down. Then we also have pseudo push-ups. It's the same lean, and remember that you're pressing straight up and not first back and then up, so that your shoulders stay forward through the whole rep. If you can do like 8 to 12 clean reps of that, time to walk the hands further down. And then lastly, we got pseudo toe taps. Once your hands are far enough down, you can start alternating tiny lifts, tap one foot and then the other. This forces your core to keep a tight line while support kind of disappears, and makes it so that your balance depends more on your hands rather than your toes. A tip I can give for the pseudo position is to use the top of your feet instead of the bottom. This prevents you from cheating, keeping the weight or the load where we want it, which is in the upper body rather than the lower body. Now for phase 3. You want to do this together with phase 2. While we're working on the pseudo position, we also want to fix the shape, wanting a nice, tight, straight line from head to toes, no butts to the moon, no hips sagging down. To hold that horizontal line, your core needs to be prepared for it. The exercises I'd recommend are the hollow body hold, box reverse leg lifts. I struggled with keeping my lower body up, so there was always this kink in my 90-degree holds, and this exercise kind of solved that issue. We also got Supermans, and the last one I'd recommend is the RKC plank. It's a bit different from a normal plank. We're really trying to maximize full body tension. So it looks like a normal plank, but what's really happening is you're trying to drive your elbows towards your toes and your toes towards your elbows. Squeeze everything that is squeezable. So get good at phase 2 and 3 before moving on to, you guessed it, with phase 4. Now we're really approaching the 90-degree hold. Set up your strongest pseudo position, and without changing shape, try to do tiny feet lifts. It's the missing link between a true lift-off. At first, you'll need a tiny jump to get you off the ground, and then you really want to control that coming down part again. Try to resist coming down as much as you can. And after a while, with enough practice, you'll need less and less of a jump, and more of the work will come out of you just leaning forward enough. Once you got that down, we can move on to the final phase, number 5, which is the actual attempts. Time to leave the nest and fly. We're going to start off with a tucked 90-degree hold, then you want to move on to straddle, and lastly, of course, the full 90-degree hold. Now, to save your shoulders, I highly recommend using resistance bands for this. But yeah, basically what they do is they allow you to do the full movement just without the full body weight tax of it. Start with the band under your feet to give you the most support, and then move up until the band is at hip level. It's time to try it unbanded while you bump up the banded version to the next level. So basically what that would mean is a unbanded tuck plus a banded straddle, and then after that unbanded straddle plus a banded full, and then eventually an unbanded full. It's like adding extra steps between floors, same staircase but just a smoother transition. Not mandatory, but highly recommended. Something I struggled with was wondering whether I was straight, like a straight line. Some Q-tips I can give with that is, remember, keep your core tight, squeeze the butt cheeks, stretch out your quads like you're about to get cramps, and point your toes. But above all else, the best method is to film yourself from a side angle and basically just go through a trial and error process. It's not the end of the world if you don't get the perfectly straight line from the get-go, but try to fix it as quick as possible as to not build bad habits, you know? And then once you've reached phase 5, you always want to start your workouts with the holds itself whilst you're still fresh, because you only got a couple of quality attempts in you each day. And then kind of work your way down the phases. Then you go to tiny feet lifts, and then you do your core and pseudo work. That way your skill gets the best energy, and the volume from your other exercises kind of build the support system. And then the very last thing that I want to answer, to breathe or not to breathe. I suggest you try, but in the beginning you'll notice that it's fucking impossible. There's just too much pressure on your upper body. You'll turn full red and you might shit your pants. I've heard from friends, you don't know them, they go to a different school. But yeah, don't stress about it too much in the beginning. Just try not to faint, and actually you'll know you've mastered it once you can comfortably breathe during the hold. That was basically all the information I could give you. It's a fairly simple but really cool and still impressive skill to learn. So that's why I think it's a good introductory to calisthenics. After that, of course, it doesn't stop there. Get that 90-degree push-up going after. As always, thank you guys for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. You can expect a lot more content from us, and then I will see you guys in the next one, hopefully. Goodbye.